Alright y'all, so the needles we're going with today is gonna be 15 curve mag, 7 round liner, and 7 curve mag. So 3 needles for this project. And we about to lay out our ink. First cap, full black. Second cap, let's see how many drops, probably about 9. 2. Alright, so we got a 2 drop, 6 drop, and a 10 drop. And then we got 4 black. But yeah, at first I put some saran wrap around my machine to cover it up, protect it. Then you put paper towels for a thicker grip. I know some people like skinny grips, but I prefer a thicker grip. And then I'll put some more bandage wrap on top of the paper towels. And another thing that's easy when you do it like that is easy to just pull off the grip versus having to unravel all your own bandage wrap. So think about that. Like I was saying, after the paper towels, tighten some of that bandage wrap around it. And at that point you don't really need too much of it, but I still use a lot of it. And boom. This is what we're gonna be using for most of the whole process. FKI and Zion machine. Alright y'all, we're gonna be starting with our black. Starting at the bottom. Start mapping the rows out on the outside. And then as we go in and get tighter, we're gonna come in with our tighter round liner. I'm gonna easy also come around like the edges of the rows with the 5 round mag, my bad, not the liner. I'm about to just block it in. Kind of like I sketch on paper, you know, you kind of map it out, block it in, then when you get for sure, you get the details, come back, tighten it up. And right now we're running at 7.5 volts with a 15 curve mag. For those that don't know, 15 curve mag. Yeah, this 15 curve mag. The smaller one gonna be like 7 and 5 curve mag. But yeah, this one for big areas. Yeah, and the bug pin is for like more layers to go over versus like smaller needles versus bigger needles, diameter wise. Alright y'all, we about to hit the shadows, knocking some of the shadows where we know for sure our black's gonna be at. And then we're gonna kind of go from there, start softening it out as we come out. You gotta remember this still is the bottom, so I would definitely want this to be where the darkest black is gonna be at. But still where it shows some highlights and it's not gonna just blend in with the dark. At the bottom of the rows, it's still gonna stand out. And that's why I'm going in pure black right now. I do want some darks at the bottom for sure. Alright y'all, we moving on to this the 5 round liner. I'm gonna just tighten up some of the structure of these rows. Alright y'all, so if you're not trying to do lines, you're trying to stick with realistic, that's why I'm using this mag to kind of create my line work. Structure out these rows. So it's going to be there, but it's not going to be super hard. But we're going to make sure it's bold though, because it's going to have a shadow on side this line as well. So we probably going to just use a little black and shade it. That's one of the things with realistic, I always say, is no hard lines. And I used to put hard lines on darker tones, but now I just try to go with a black solid, just how I'm using with the mag. Just go straight black. I think if it's like too dark, no lie, I just prefer lines. No lie, just go with lines. But the skin tone not really dark, so we're just gonna go with the regular mag. So it definitely stand out. And of course, his skin tone is gonna be basically the highlights of the rows of the whole tattoo. Really, that's gonna be our lightest parts. Unless you decide to put white in some areas, then then white will be the lightest parts. But white is just the accent, give it some highlights. Alright y'all, now we're gonna move on to our 7 curve mag. With a light tone. It's gonna be our medium tone. Start giving some details to the petals. You wanna make sure you keep that skin break in between, like right up in there. I'm gonna kinda make it look like it's folding. That way, kind of curve it that way. But we ain't trying to fill in that pedal at all. Just trying to give it some texture, give it some direction. Alright, now we lighten it up all the way. And I'm going to slowly kind of brush a little into this, but still leaving that skin break. Just brush a little into that. Give it an easy transition right here. And make sure you put them shades dark. Not dark, but like sharp. My bad. Not dark. We'll be transitioning right over. Make this look like a little fold in that pedal. We're gonna leave pretty much the rest of it to skin tone. Rest pretty much the skin tone. Tap a little right here on the edge. I'm gonna leave the rest open. Close that off with a soft tone. Since that's pure black right there. Okay, you see the structure is kind of like it's dented in right up in here. Curves over another dent right up in there. So I'm going to softly structure out those areas where it's dented in. And of course, we're going to have the light spot in the middle due to the fact that's where it's poking out. So let's softly brush that area in there. I'm going to add brushing a little bit here due to the fact that that's going to be light. About a dark, I'm going to keep that light there. You don't really lose the pedal because you still got some highlights on it. But you don't want to just keep it on bright all over the place either. Because I know that ain't too much of a realistic. Because the light ain't all over the place. So you got to still give it some shadows. Some of it going to have to touch a little bit. So it's about controlling where you're going to put them highlights at though. Let's finish structuring this pedal out. You know, a little shade hitting that middle, but not a lot. So it's going to definitely be dark here because this is where the rolls kind of fall back in. I'm going to make sure I keep that light right here on the outside to stand this pedal apart from the rest. Like I said, we keep going in with our light tone, and then I'm gonna come back, build it up. It's kind of like a sculpture, you know, you build it up until you show where you want to put things at, and then you start darkening up, making them on executive decisions. You know, exactly what things gonna be at. And what I'm gonna do, since this pedal here, I'm gonna definitely use this as our shadow, because remember it's poking up, so it's kind of sliding back. So we're gonna definitely add that shadow right there. And then that means we're going to keep it light on the other side of the pedal to make sure we ain't making it get lost, nothing like that. How we do that, boom, that's dark. At this bottom, it ain't got to be too dark. Brush it up. Boom. And the reason I decided to go ahead and put this black, because this is where a shadow is at, and this is where a shadow will fall due to that highlight being up there, and highlights will be on this side. I'm going to slowly brush it down. And make sure right at the bottom, and make sure I make that little curve to where it actually ends that bud. And I'm going to come back, of course, darken that up a little bit. Structure it out with the 7 curves, man. Or even a 5 curve, man. Just brush down a little bit on this pedal. Some spots where we know it's dark at, let's brush down. Do a little more structure to this. Make sure we're gonna leave that big skin break right there though.